that original show with Willie Nelson, he did the pilot show, was broadcast on, I think, 20, 25 or 30 PBS stations around the country, sort of as a test run. And the people at the station in Austin were shocked, amazed by the results, by the positive response that we would get from stations in California, Vermont, everywhere. Of course, what's not to love about Willie? It seems like he has always had that universal appeal with his music. And really, if it wasn't for Willie and that original show, there probably would not have been an Austin City Limits beyond that one show, that one pilot. So that enabled us to find the funding from Lone Star Beer at the time to produce the first season's worth of 13 episodes. And so once we got that first season on the air, you know, it's been a struggle all of these years and decades just to keep the funding in place, and one sponsor or underwriter would come and another would go, and you know, we just have enough funding to keep the budget up to par, and the show and production has been challenging. Even this past year with the economy the way it's been, a different kind of a challenge. But it quickly spread to the entire system. I'd say within 3 to 5 years, virtually every PBS station in the country was carrying Austin City Limits. It was such a unique, different kind of program. It was so different from anything else on public television at the time,
Sure.
for that matter, today. Yeah, and again, since I wasn't involved in the original concept or those first 2 years, but I can say that the concept was to focus on Austin or Texas music, with a couple of exceptions. They'd have Clifton Chenier from Louisiana, but they didn't go much further away than Louisiana. And there was so much music happening in Austin that it made perfect sense that we should give that music a showcase on public television. But after like 2 or 3 years, we had pretty much run the gamut of the Austin acts, bands that were really worthy of being on national TV, and to the point where the producers were beginning to recycle some of the same acts 2 or even 3 times. So when I walked into the office and was given the job of producer, I just decided maybe it was time to sort of push the limits a little bit. In fact, the first act that I booked was Tom Waits, and certainly the
that ain't country.
there were some people there who immediately, if they hadn't already been a little skeptical about this kid from Poughkeepsie, New York,
right.
what's he going to do to our Texas music show, you know, we're getting really concerned. But it just seemed like the right thing to do, and within a couple of years, we had reached out to people like Ray Charles and B.B. King, and artists from wherever, you know, they happen to be from, whether it be Nashville or California or even, you know, beyond the bounds of the United States. So it took us a while to kind of get our footing and to come up with the formula, if you want to call it that, or at least the balance of music that represents what Austin City Limits is today. Yeah, in those early days, I can remember trying to book Ray Charles and talking with someone at his record company, or it might have been his manager out in L.A., and them saying, we don't do local cable access shows. You know, this sounds like something like that. And so I would have to explain, and I've explained over and over, that no, it's a new music show. It's on PBS. It's commercial free, which is another great thing about the show compared to any other commercial television. And we don't pay much. We typically, even today, pay a few $100s. I think the scale has gone from about, you know, one of the interesting things in the museum exhibit here was to see the original contracts for Willie Nelson's pilot show. And it says right there in black and white, the scale payment was $56 and some cents. Well, now it's up to $500 after all of these years. But that's whether it's Pearl Jam or Dave Matthews Band or Coldplay or whoever the case may be. And also, interestingly, a brand new and unknown artist who may be 18 years old, just starting out, doing their first ever TV show, gets paid the same as Eddie Vedder, from Pearl Jam.